Hello, everybody, and welcome again to Table Takes. How are we all doing today? It looks like we have some familiar faces in here and all that jazz. I hope everybody's enjoying. I think it is finally officially the spring equinox. Yeah. Yes. So hopefully the days will be longer and no longer shall the night be there to question us. But yes, hey Noir, how have you been?
Well, I just want to know if it's the spring equinox, how come it's snowing outside?
I feel like that's a Chicago problem. It's not,
That's
that's
uh
not
that's that's Fool's Spring. It's the Midwest.
That's full spring. Yeah, we got a couple of that in Seattle. It was sunny for like 2 days and then it went to poopy again. Oh, the weather, it's great. But yes, no, I mean, speaking of that, I mean, other than of course the snow outside for your springtime noir, how have you been?
It's been a pretty chill week. I woke up today to Kendrick Lamar putting out a diss track against J. Cole and Drake. So
Woo!
things are starting pretty hot and spicy this weekend. Also working on a huge tabletop actual play project. Um calling it I'll talk about it. I'm calling it Marvel 312. I'm doing a whole tabletop Marvel universe where I'm gonna start casting people as superheroes, and we're just gonna go tell stories. It's gonna be fun.
Ooh, sounds fun. We're gonna
Exciting.
look forward to that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you gotta let promote it when it gets closer to the times. Tell us the dates, all the times,
Nope.
all the jazz. What? What? No. What?
I'm not good at marketing. Don't look at me. Don't perceive me.
No. Well, you know what? Who I think is very good at marketing themselves. Anita, how have you been?
Mm.
No, I suck at that. But thank you for having that confidence in me, Bonsai. I've been well. This week has been interesting. I have been on a Final Fantasy VII remake kick lately because I'm trying to get caught up in time to play Rebirth. Uh, and this game's so good. I had to get over the initial hump because I got very far in the game the first time I played through, but then I lost my save in the divorce. So sometimes it's like
Uh,
that.
what?
I had to cope with some trauma before I was able to reapproach it this time.
Wow, you know what? That's a whole. I didn't. You know what? That's a whole thing. At least you got through it, and you're going through. You're journeying. It's better. All the things are better.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I can't remember if this is the version where you can have Cloud dress up and do a
Yes.
flamingo. Okay, yes, all right. This is the
Yes.
best one.
This was the video game we were raised on, where you are eco-terrorists trying to take down a mega corporation, and the main character also does drag. It's incredible. Perfect game.
Yay.
No notes. 15 out of 10.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you finally got back into it and you're enjoying all the drag and eco-terrorism or eco-rangerism. And you know what? Um, I see somebody's back in their house. Javion, how have you been?
I've been good. I'm back. I found out that my eye allergies were not due to the inside of my eye being itchy, but actually the lid on the outside. So I started using these lid scrubs. I know, very interesting. Getting the allergies taken care of. Yeah. More
Yay.
interesting. I finally got the last achievement on this game I always play. I have over 700 hours in it. It's called Picross Touch. It's a game about nonograms. I had to complete 2,000 puzzles, but I finally did it. Um, and
A-
yeah.
Achievement unlocked. Congrats. Especially for something that you have over 700 hours in. I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad you 100%ed it. Now you have to speed run it. That's the next achievement. You have to do
Speed
all of
run.
that again, but in like half the time, so
That's
only in
awful.
300 hours.
That's awful. No, no, thank you. One last thing. I am working on an RPG. I work on a lot of games and I never finished them, but I had this idea for an RPG. It's more of a party game where you're trying, you know how people in Game of Thrones and in fantasy and like sometimes other cultures will have really long names. Well, it's kind of a game where you make a character, and you develop their backstory while also giving them a really long name. I don't have all the details down yet, but I am using all of you guys' names as inspiration and just building on them. I'll give you an update on what I come up with for each of you guys' backstories next week.
Oh, that's cool. That's actually like kind of like almost historically accurate, right? Because that's how you trace your lineage. You're a son of
Yeah.
X, Y, Z, and then X. That's
Yeah.
really awesome.
Lover of donuts, procurer of dice, so on and so forth.
Very, very, very cool. Well,
Noir, were you about to say something? Noir
On
doesn't
thy
unmute.
baby, first of her name, mother of doggies, and also human.
also one human.
Oh yeah, there's that human.
Oh no, and
Boomer's
you've been
jealous.
acknowledged.
Activated
I'm
Boomer.
sorry. Yes, yes.
Wielder of the googly eyes, the orange mistress.
Thank
This
you
is
for
so
that
good.
intro. For that. Yes, I know. I have to actually take down some orange and put more orange in a different way. More posters. That's gonna be later. But for me, I've been actually doing pretty good. Last week, like I said, we played Daggerheart. Actually had a really great time going to buy the book myself when it fully comes out. I think the only thing is I need monster manual on how they like do some of the stuff for the monsters, which isn't bad. We had to reskin our first session because we didn't like the original first session, but it's okay. It's easy to reskin. I think the only terrible thing I had was knowing that I always rolled with fear. And it sucks when you always roll with fear and you never have any hope. No hope for me that game, but it was still fun. It was still fun. But yes, you know what? Who does have hope in this situation? People who have lots of love for Lego bricks. We're gonna go ahead and just jump right into headlines right now. So if you are one of those folks who were clamoring and thinking and hoping for all the cool Dungeons and Dragons 50th anniversary stuff, well, Lego finally officially, we've been talking about this before. I think Javion first brought it up a couple of months ago. So thank you from Sean Fallon from comicbook.com. Lego's first Dungeons and Dragons set is officially revealed with custom adventures. So it's finally been announced. It's called Dungeons and Dragons Red Dragon set. Has their official D&D set. The set is over 3,700 blocks in total, including a full adventure party, along with the Red Dragon, Beholder, Displacer Beast, Gelatinous Cube, and Owlbear. All alongside is including a scene in a tavern, a dungeon, and a tower. So I have maybe a little bit conspiracy about this Lego piece right now. To the conspiracy mobile! All right. As you can see, everyone needs to wear protection when you're talking about conspiracies because you never know, they'll get you. But I'll have a thing. So this is just a thing I've noticed since the Dungeons and Dragons movie, and a lot of the things. WotC has a very particular niche of animals that they are going to shove into your face and into all of their gear because they know these are specifically Dungeons and Dragon creatures. You can even see the example in the book. What do you see? A beholder, a red dragon, displacer beast is also in here, and an owl bear. See, look, displacer beast. They're always gonna have it, and a gelatinous cube. It's always there. They're always there. So like that is going to be like if it's really officially D&D gear, does it have it? Because if they don't have one of those creatures, then you know it's not really true because they need to clamp down on that what is it? That copyright and you know it. And so just be prepared. So I hope one of these creatures are your favorite because you are never going to hear it like if D&D becomes a lifestyle brand, that's going to be the stuffed animals, that's going to be the onesies, that's going to be on the cereal boxes or the lunch boxes and all those kind of gears and cups and fuzziness and owlbear mug. Just gonna say that's probably a niche out there for people. So that's my conspiracy. That's the creatures that you're gonna see and they're gonna keep coming. You're never gonna escape them. But besides that, of that nonsense. The set is available for pre-orders for Lego insiders. This is more than the VIP people. These are the people that like are dedicated to Lego, have spent a lot, and signed up for this. You'll get first shot at it March 31st, and the set price will be $360. The set will also be released aside with an adventure book that lets you play through the Lego ideas, a Dungeons and Dragons Red Dragon Tale, the D&D game, and the book will be available for digital download as limited print release. And the other folks like us who aren't what is called the Lego Insider Specials, you will get it April 1st. So what do y'all think about this?
I think that if you think I will not spend my hard-earned no money on a Displacer-based beast onesie, you are mistaken, Bonsai, and you don't know me at all, and you never did.
Actually, that would be that's a great marketing. You know what? It's true. And you have like the little that would
Little
actually be
tentacles?
really
Get
good.
on it. Also, trademark. Pay me for my idea. IP.
Yeah,
I
the
like D&D
iconic.
as... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
The iconic red dragon. I've literally never played in a game that actually uses one. This is like forcing you to confront why you haven't actually done it before. You put this on the table, your players know they're going to have to actually deal with the dragon and get like the other half of their game title in their actual game. What were you gonna say, Nora?
I was just gonna say I like D&D as a lifestyle brand. I think they already get too much advertising. They already take up too much space in the market. I like TTRPG as a lifestyle hobby. Like, that's why I like Roller Crit. What's up, y'all? Give me stuff. But no, I I can't in good conscience support D&D as a lifestyle brand. But luckily there are other companies that are doing the same thing. Like I know that Gary Gygax also has TTRPG based shoes coming out that look pretty sick. They're not Converses, but they're pretty sick. Again, there are a ton of TTRPG clothing brands. You've got your Session Zero clothing, you've got Roller Crit, you've got Cloak, you got all these other options. I think D&D has taken up enough air.
Well, that's fair to say. I do like that you mentioned that there are clothing brands because I know it, Anita. I think you need to get your foot on the ground with this. Yes.
Speaking of D&D as a lifestyle brand again, it's the hits keep coming. They aren't stopping. So we are going to talk a little bit about Converse, who just debuted new Dungeons and Dragons inspired high tops and apparel. They're going to be available for purchase starting April 11th. And the designs draw inspiration and incorporate details from the first edition of the Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook, the Monster Manual, and the Dungeon Master's Guide. Including that are several limited edition Chuck 70 style high tops, as well as two designs that feature alternate versions of the Chuck Taylor All-Star logo to resemble a D20 instead. And they do feature illustrations of Kellic the Sorcerer, Warduke the Fighter, and Zarek the Assassin from the D&D action figures of the 80s, for those old heads that remember that. Also, some of those assets are going to be imported into Converse by you, so you can make your own custom versions of the Dungeons and Dragons sneakers for you. Also, there's going to be a few other clothing items. There's 3 t-shirts, I believe, a sweater, as well as a trucker hat and some shorts that all have those same sort of different elements from the artwork worked into them. I particularly like the gelatinous cube that is currently eating the Chuck Taylor logo, which is just funny to me. And though it is available on April 21st, if you're attending GaryCon, like our very own Peter Atkinson, you can get them right now or drop a pair off for your friend in Chicago who's a size 7. It's not far. You're just in Wisconsin. That's it.
I can't wait to see Peter coming back and like showing off his new Converse.
Oh yeah,
D&D Converse.
and he's like, yeah, it's the size 7. Thanks.
Good tip.
Good tip.
I mean, I have to say, just as a business strategy, Wizards releasing these at Gary Con is kind of savage. Because again,
Oh yeah, they have the.
because Luke Gygax just started G20, and he just released his shoes. And they went to that convention to go, hey, we got Converse. Like, that's why I can't in good conscience support this kind of thing, because it's literally Walmart walking to a mom and pop shop and punching mom and pop in the face. Like,
You make that
like
connection.
we reported on Luke Guy Jackson shoes, and they're pretty cool. And like the other thing is, they not. I'm not casting aspersions or making accusations. I'm just saying it seems kind of funny that the Converse shoes are just underpriced of the G20 ones, to the point where the G20s are now on sale to match the price of the Wizards of the Coast ones. So it's little things like that that I can't help but notice and go, that's dirty.
That sounds very suspicious.
I think we need to do a new transition to Noir's conspiracy.
Yeah, Noir's conspiracy.
I don't got a pizza strainer or nothing, but I've got a stove.
No, but that is 100%.
It's green though, so it's picking up my green screen. Listen, I'm just saying, Luke Gygax has done a lot for the community. He keeps the Gary Con and everything going. He's a good dude. Like, if you must get a shoe with a red dragon on it, I think one side of this has enough money and the other side has earned some goodwill. That's all I'm saying.
That's a good point. I totally forgot that they were also debuting their Converse. That is conspiracy. But yeah, no, that is a very valid point, and that people should point that out. And I'm glad you brought that up, Noir. It's just like it is something. I feel like we could go down this staircase forever. But I feel like Javion, you got something to say about this, though, right?
I sure do. It's more D&D news, folks. In fact, it might be the last D&D news. No, it's just the final official adventure module coming from D&D 5th edition as we know it, as we forge ahead into the future, into the unknown. What could it be? What could D&D do in the future? All we know is that we have a remaster of 6 very fun adventures back from the 1980s. Back again with updated math. That's right. They're repurposing it for 5th edition, and they spent a long time making sure all of the numbers work out. So basically, you're welcome. The 6 adventures are named The Lost City, When a Star Falls, Crystal Cave, Pharaoh, Expedition to Barrier Peaks, and they're all going to send you from levels 1 through 13. So, unlike some of the other adventures we've seen, like the Candlekeep Mysteries, these ones are not entirely designed to lead from one to another. Like, you could spin off from a 3rd level party doing the Lost City into your own homebrew campaign or into a different module, but you could feasibly run your characters through all of these like a big gauntlet, as we've seen in the past. You're going to be finding a lot of new characters and monsters, or maybe rediscovering old ones that we loved, and even delving into a little bit of science fantasy with the final one, Expedition to Barrier Peaks, which just so happens to be designed by Gary Gygax. So if you want to take a look at some of the old stuff with some mustachioed genies and the Infinite Staircase and learn all about their lore, you should definitely check this out. Grab the pre-order. Grab the pre-order because you can pre-order it now on D&D Beyond or on Roll20 if you want your VTT needs met. It'll be fully released down in July 16th this year, so you won't have to wait too long for it to come out. But as this is the final installment of pre-remastered D&D, expectations are high for all the folks who are boycotting new D&D things and only sticking to what they already know. Don't worry, as far as we can tell, the new D&D stuff is supposed to be backwards compatible. So don't worry, you can try out all the new stuff. This stuff will be compatible going forward as well. There's not a whole lot of details in terms of what you're actually going to be doing in these campaigns, but if we look to some of the past and all of the other adventures that have been written and are getting remastered, we can see that there's a lot of stuff there that we can look forward to. Boomer's very excited to try some of this stuff out. What do you guys think? Are you going to be hopping onto the Infinite Staircase?
I think it's just interesting to see what kind of like how bringing back some of the old companions are going to be, like remastering and maybe fixing some clerical errors. I like that. But I also want to say, why don't they also put, like, I know you're not a fan of the saying, but why don't they just say the quiet part loud that they're just doing a 6th edition? That's what they're doing. They're getting ready. Sorry, but that's all I have to say about that.
I hear you, Bonsai. I hear you. And I'm sure everyone at WotC's heard many, many people say this as well. I'm sure that's not falling on deaf ears.
Or just name it 5.5. Sorry.
That would make sense too. I think that would make more sense, honestly. It's not like a full new edition, right? It's just updating some of the rules or roping in some of the new rules that they kept doling out little by little all into one place. That's probably why they're first.
3rd edition. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would accept a 5.5. They've already done the 0.5 status for a lot of things. I just need it to be labeled like how it is. Don't try to fool me. Don't try to fool me with this new Pepsi remix or something like that. Tell it what it is. But yeah, you know what? I feel like when people bring something back from things that were really, really cool, it's really nice to get that kind of flashback or, just get something nice and influential into the market. Maybe something flashback from the 80s. Noir, you got any talk about that?
No, but let me tell you about X-Men 97. No, I'm just kidding. Beloved Gundam meets D&D RPG. Where's Blade gets first English translation after nearly 40 years. Woo boy. Launching sometime in 2025, New Where's Blade will be part of Lion Wing's ongoing project to revive and reprint some of the most popular and influential tabletop RPGs in Japan. It was originally released in 1986 and captivated players with a mix of crunchy wargame adjacent combat and a unique mixture of fantasy genre tropes and mech conventions in the vein of Mobile Suit Gundam. Its popularity has kept it alive across several decades while also spawning novels, soundtracks, video games, and audio drama. The tabletop RPG itself enjoyed plenty of core rulebooks and supplements over the years, and the Lion Wing team is using the 1994 Where's Blade Renewal book as the foundation of their translation. Lion Wing claims at a press conference that its goal is preserving and presenting the game almost exactly as it originally looked to fans buying copies from their local game store several decades ago. No changes except for small quality of life improvements that were requested by the original designers, along with adding fresh artwork and layout tweaks. This type of project has never before in the TTRPG happened before in the TTRPG space, which is why we're incredibly excited about it, said Bradley Hale, CEO and president of Lion Wing. We are also excited to announce that a crowdfunding campaign for Where's Blade will be launched in 2025 on Kickstarter. So in the system, players choose amongst 4 classes, with the Martial Warrior class also sporting the ability to pilot large and prohibitively expensive mech suits, the design of which is seen on the online art. Frankly, incredibly bulky yet elegant and dripping with character, the mechs embody the collective imagination of knights, samurais, battle wizards, and other larger-than-life characters. I don't know anything about this particular TTRPG, but what I do know is that there is a desire for the mech genre in this space. Yes, we have Battle Mech, which is very crunchy. But that's one option. We also have Lancer, which is also very cool. But I feel like there hasn't been the definitive mech TTRPG, and I'm very curious to see if this blast from the past can fill that slot in America. So that's the news. What do you all think about this?
I
Uh,
like that they're trying to preserve what the original like look and vibe of the booklet is. That's really cool to me. And the artwork in it is uh that sort of classic 90s, 80s anime aesthetic, which is I'm a sucker for too. I know you were saying before we started the show that you are also uh
Yeah, it's got that Ninja Scroll and Record of the Lotus War type look.
yeah.
That I just it's just classic awesome anime. Also Ronin Warriors. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I love the style. I just wish that I hope they come with like later on in the line if it does catch, because the Gundam series, or at least like a lot of Gundam in the 80s during the time, is a very dramatic kind of atmosphere. So I wonder how they're gonna role play it. I mean, if anybody who's watching is from Japan or has dealt with the Japanese. It's I say kudos for more things that don't originate in the United States coming into it, because we do have a lot of stuff here, but like the whole like in China and also in Japan, they have a lot of really interesting RPGs, and I like things being able to be translated and shared with everybody. And yeah, it's just really interesting, and I can't wait to see, because I like big robots that punch other big robots. Gundam Wing was like my first, like, along with like a lot of like, what is it, anything in Adult Swim during the time, was like my intro into like a lot of anime. But yeah.
What's your favorite Gundam? There is a right answer.
Uh-oh.
Oh wait, are you talking about the oh, it's, of course it's the Chibi Gundams.
Oh, I don't think you like that.
Walking away.
I don't think you like that one.
No,
The answer
because
is Death Scythe.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
yeah, that would make him walk away. Everybody hates the Chibi Gundams. By the way, there is a whole series that they took Gundams and they took the people out of it. They made them chibi.
Just little.
Just a little bit. But besides that, we're gonna go ahead while Noir's contemplating all the aspects of how much she loves Chibi Gundams. How about we go to a place far, far away, long before time, a Star Wars limited place.
Yes. So this one comes from our friend Chase Carter over at Dicebreaker. Star Wars Unlimited publisher has been having some stock problems after an unprecedented success. So less than 2 weeks after the release, into the Star Wars Unlimited release month, the new trading card game from Fantasy Flight has disappeared off the shelves, and everybody was really worried that it was going to be another Lorcana situation. But Fantasy Flight has said, "Fear not, we have a plan, and we are enacting that plan." So existing stock of Star Wars Unlimited's first set, Spark of Rebellion, will be released to distributors in waves between now and the launch of the TCG's yet unnamed second core set. While this won't solve the scarcity problem that's going to be happening everywhere, it will hopefully provide game stores with sort of enough boosters and prize support to run weekly or monthly organized play games. And that'll sort of fend off the worst of the scalping tendencies for the secondary market that we wind up seeing. Spark of Rebellion was initially printed to hit a sweet spot between saturating the distributors and retailers and creating so much scarcity that it harms the community's ability to play and public perception. So Fantasy Flight did not anticipate how popular it was going to be, but it's Star Wars. They kind of have a license to print money since 1970s. So um, they are, with any luck, going to be releasing these limited availability cards, so that way it sort of offsets the uh, uh, the hunger and the thirst for this product. But yeah, I'm excited to see get my hands on it and see. Let me know what y'all think about this.
One thing I will say, thank goodness they got the dice out to everybody. They were able to be like, one of the bigger things about the Fantasy Flight Star Wars games was like the dice. We need the dice. No one can get a hold of dice. They have abundance of dice. And so like this is actually a really, really good thing. I'm glad that they see like, hey, this is something that happened, but we're gonna get it out there for people. We're
Yeah.
not gonna take months and months and be like, next quarter, we'll totally have enough.
Yeah,
this
we were
time.
in our local game store the other day, and they had the Fantasy Flight dice on the shelves and in plenitude. It was very nice to see after so many years of them being lost. Some thought they lost forever.
See, I told y'all we should have learned Star Wars Unlimited when we were at TwitchCon. We had the perfect opportunity. They were gonna sit us down and teach it to us. We had all the time. Now look what we missing out on. And what y'all got to say? Huh? What? Nothing. That's what I thought.
Right. Wow. Javon's very passionate about Star Wars.
What's an overtuned repulsor craft? That's not real. That's not a real thing. What is that? We don't know because we didn't play the game. So we didn't learn it. So now it's too late. Now we just gotta go Google it.
I've never heard the word Google said with such fury.
I was actually holding back. I could have kept going, but I decided it wasn't worth it.
It was the goo for me.
Google.
What's an overtuned repulsor craft? You tell me. What do you think it is? What's an overtuned repulsor craft?
It's a repulsor craft that's been overtuned. I thought that I said what it was on the tin. I don't know how else to explain this to you, Javion.
Got it. Sorry, that's my bad. Please keep going.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm scared to do one article.
But you know what? It's okay. Javion is just being possessed by the spirit of war. War. So when you channel that through, what do you get when you get in that mind space?
Well, I don't know. What do you get?
You get 2 wars, 2 players.
I'll take it from here. God of War. God of War 2-player board game bridges the gap between the 2018 video game and Ragnarok. So there, of course, there's a new board game based on the God of War video game series that is going to bridge the events of the video games. This is of course going to take place in the time between the 2018 game and Ragnarok, shedding light on how Kratos and Atreus survived the frigid cold of Fimbulwinter, the precursor of the events leading up to Ragnarok. The upcoming board game sees players becoming the father and son as they navigate the challenges of Fimbulwinter and prepare for the coming storm of Ragnarok. A board game for 2 players. The God of War board game has players working together to overcome various threats, including several monsters and a final boss. The beginning of each playthrough will have players choose out of 8 different quests before selecting the monsters and a final boss. Every quest will have players trying to achieve an objective, such as fortifying the protection staffs, avoiding Freya's revenge, and helping Atreus search for the answers to his identity. Along the way, players must face off against a roster of monsters and bosses who have their own behaviors and patterns. The team will need to anticipate and respond to. As they progress, the duo will gain more synergy with each other and further develop their chosen characters. The board game was created by Alex Atonu and will be published by CMON, a company that has previously released another title based on God of War franchise called God of War, the card game, as well as other licensed games such as Marvel United and The Godfather: Corleone's Empire. A crowdfunding campaign for God of War, the board game, will launch on GameFound sometime in April. just a quick little bit of TTRPG nerd fact. The actress that plays Kratos' wife is one Deborah Ann Woll, who you might recognize from Daredevil and also as a GM for Demi playing. Um, I am a God of War fan, so if you want the full story of God of War, here's what you're gonna have to do. Okay, so hold on tight because we got a lot to go through.
Is this a spoiler? Are you spoiling?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm just telling you where you find all the story stuff, but there's no spoilers ahead. All right, so you have to play all 3 games on the original PlayStation 2. Then you have to play two PSP and a PS Vita game. Then you have to read the comic, which bridges God of War 3 to God of War 2018. And then you have to play the board game that I just told you about to find out what happened between God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. And then you have to play Ragnarok. And then you have to play the downloadable content for Ragnarok. And then we're waiting for the next game. So you've got a lot to do, God of War. Get out there and do it.
I mean, that at least is less complicated than what you have to do for Final Fantasy lore. So that's just how it is.
You want to know the final boss of complexity in terms of following the lore? Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah, I
Because
forgot Kingdom
Kingdom
Hearts.
Hearts doesn't know how to count.
That's so
They
true.
Forgot.
they go 1, 2, dream drop distance,
Uh-oh.
1.5
Anita's already like,
mix.
no. Anita, you're muted.
1, 2, chain of memories. Dream drop distance is technically a dream sequence that doesn't necessarily exist in canon. You know it.
Are you
358 over 2 days.
are you a Kingdom Hearts truther?
Yes.
Ah, new discoveries.
I don't think I want to be in this relationship anymore.
And then don't forget Birth by Sleep, which comes before all the other games.
I feel like I need to go just find YouTube channel that sums up everything for me.
Good luck.
Listen, most of them are just
Well, this is
Shrug
great for
emoji.
me because I never played Ragnarok because it came out when I was broke. And also, I don't want to buy like the next gen consoles and stuff just so I can see Kratos beat up another big ogre with his son firing arrows and stabbing him in the head. So this is great. Now I play the board game and I'll spend even more money. And then by the time I'm done with the board game, they'll have deals and sales and discounts on Ragnarok. This is perfect.
You got your plan all worked out.
Yeah. See, I'm
Big-
thrifty.
Big brain thinking there. But you know what? I feel like this is a perfect time to go into one fandom into another. That is, take it, Airbender.
That's right. Aang, the last airbender of Avatar, the last airbender. Aang's Destiny. Avatar, the last airbender, Aang's Destiny. The co-op deck building game. That's the full title, by the way. You have to say it that way every time
That's
you
a lot of
open the box. Yeah. So this isn't Avatar, The Legend of Korra, okay? This is the last airbender, which Aang is, which you know. If you don't know, Avatar, the Last Airbender is all about a kid who happens to be the last airbender. And he's also the Avatar, which means he can bend air, water, fire, and earth. He also needs to fight Fire Nation Overlord Ozai. I don't know why I'm saying this. You all know this. We've seen it so many times. There are so many comic books. There's the live action TV show. There's a live action movie. You know this. Well, now there's a deck building game. It's a deck building game. It's cooperative, and you play through the whole story of Avatar, the last airbender. But this time it's all about Aang's destiny, which means you get to base. Look, I'm trying to give you information, but there's not a lot of information on this game. You're going to pick up items, you're going to talk to strangers, and you're going to level up your airbending and water bending and earth bending techniques. You're going to play through the whole story, and that's pretty much it. You can look forward to this coming out pretty soon this year. But when? We don't know because they didn't tell us. So we don't know. All we know is it's made by Patrick Marino, who helped create Cuphead and the other Avatar board game, Fire Nation Rising. So lots of cool stuff to look forward to if you are a fan of Avatar. In my opinion, this is going to be almost a clone of the Harry Potter deck building game, which has literally point for point every single thing that I've seen from this article. By the way, thank you for this article, Alex Meehan of Dicebreaker. Appreciate. Yeah, everything from that I've seen, it's basically the same thing. So if you like deck building, but you're trying not to give Rowling any more money, like I am, then have fun with Aang's Destiny, because this is it. This is the deck building game for you.
Oh, very, very nice. I think they probably want to release it this year, of course, because Netflix has their what is it, live action going on right now, which is actually
Yeah.
pretty cool. And everybody apparently is for the Fire Nation Emperor. I don't want to tell you why, but apparently he sets hearts on fire, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
I mean, I'm an Iroh guy myself. Iroh.
Oh,
Look, I can't I'm gonna be honest. I cannot stomach the acting in this live action series. I tried my best, but when Zuko and Iroh are the standouts, and I just can't wait for them to get back on screen on the first episode, and you already know what happens in the first episode, then I get it. They look the part. They look the right. They got the right actors to look the right part, but they need a
I
little
mean,
help.
honestly, I don't know why they did this live action series when they nailed it with the movie. Like the series doesn't even get the name right. Who is Aang? It's Ong. Who is Uncle Iroh? It's Uncle Iroh. And why is he like being funny? Iroh is supposed to be like this really like solemn and serious dude.
Right.
And the bending is way too fast. It's got to be a
Yeah,
lot
slow it
slower.
down. We need five guys
There's not enough
to
white
chuck a rock.
representation in that movie.
Who is Sokka? It's Sokka. Like they messed up everything. Don't change perfection. M. Night got it right the first time.
Oh my god.
oh man, we just like loving all the hits today.
Play the deck building game. The deck building game is gonna be fun. It's gonna be everything a deck building game is.
Yeah, so go ahead and do that. And that, folks, was, of course, our last article. But don't worry, because guess what we have? We're going to bring you to court!
Welcome to Crowdfunder Court. Here come the judges. Prepare to be judged. All rise. Court is now in session.
Hear ye! I have first up to grabs in this crowdfunder court. This is coming from BackerKit, Fathom, GM Oracle. So have you ever really wanted to go ahead and write out just have a improv session, but you don't have time to write it out? Well, I got the game for you. Fathom is a GM Oracle, empowers you to shape adventures by determining characters' origins, quest rewards, and NPC interactions, and peer into the lives unleashed multiverse of options. It's a 70 card, fully illustrated deck of cards, tarot size cards with beautiful art, and used as an oracle as a GM. So, or you can use it as a solo game itself. The idea of the oracle comes from where oracles just randomly basically just random tables that you consult. Instead of just having tables like rolling a d20, you use these cards in a certain order, which say like, hey, you want to invoke, the hero is going to be invoking the loss category, or they have vague hints of like the evil is actually from the like a brightness area. So it's like hints of where you kind of want things to be, and not exactly like giving you a full illustration. It seems to be a mix of cards that mimic standard GM random tables like equipment and class cards, and more closely towards like a DD kind of event cards. All cards come with like like I said, evocative art with word associations. For those who are less interested of having it be too creative, the deck also comes with a booklet that gives you firm rules on what these symbols mean or what they're invoking for the NPCs and even adventures using these multicolored decks. It has 13 days left, April 4th, and they also have expansions. So if you don't want to just have fantasy, you can also get stuff for not just Western fantasy. They have Eastern fantasy cards. They also have sci-fi and cyberpunk as some of those categories, and steampunk as well. So if that interests you and you want tarot cards, tell how you want to do your random encounters, this is the game for you, Phantom. And then I feel like with that, we need to go on an odyssey. Don't you think, Javion?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, not just any Odyssey. It's going to be the Odyssey of the Giant. It's an escorting solo Tater Pig. That means tabletop role-playing game. Solo tater pig. What does that mean? That means you're going to be sitting down at a table or on the bus or at work, perhaps as an EMT or even a first responder. Or maybe you are sitting in the control room at the White House and you want something fun to do to pass the time because your job's so boring because everybody knows they don't really do anything. Well, with this, you can pull out your journal, pull out some dice, pull out this book, Odyssey of the Giant, and have a great time. Solo Tater Pigs are all about relaxation. What could be more relaxing than running across a post-cataclysmic world with a giant that's following you so you can get them to a safe haven on the other side of the kingdom? Well, honestly, nothing. So you should definitely pick up this game because you can get the PDF. You can get the physical version. You can even get some character sheets that are going to help you role play out this game all by yourself. Or be like me, grab a couple of people who like watching video games for some reason, and instead make them watch you roll dice, make them watch you talk to yourself, make them watch you scribble down silently while they stare, unblinking at you, waiting for you to respond. It's a hex crawling game, so you're going to be jumping across different landscapes, rolling on tables to see what kind of strangers you can encounter, both friendly and hostile, and also which kind of side quests you can encounter with one of these 4 different races of giants. We don't get to know what they are in the preview, but I'm guessing you got the big rock giant, you get the big ogre monster giant, you get the big did I say rock giant? How about air? Let's go with the 4 elements: fire, water, air, and earth. That's probably all the 4 races of giants. I don't know yet. You're gonna have to back this game like I did and find out for yourself when it comes out because you get the PDF right away. But act now because the crowdfunding campaign ends in 9 days. That means you only have 9 days to get in on this fun, exciting solo RPG. It's 48 pages. It's plenty of content and it's super fun, or at least I assume it is, because again, it's not out yet. But you can get in on it, so definitely do that.
Thank you very much, Javion. With all those giants, I feel like I have a big appetite now. Anita, can you help me with that? Oh, muted.
Well, absolutely I can. Let's talk about Gummy Quest. Delicious fantasy gummies. You get to go on a mouth-watering adventure with 150 tasty gummies in 25 unique fantasy flavors. So Gummy Quest is a delicious treasure trove of 150 fantasy-flavored gummies in each box. They include slimes, trolls, dragons, and more. And they were actually sculpted by people who fill shelves in every game store in America with miniatures of Dungeons and Dragons, Reaper, Bones, and Warp miniatures. So each gummy is a work of art. Box contains 151 gummies with 76 monsters, 15 heroes, 25 potions, and 35 dice. Yes, you can crunch these dice. And each of the 25 flavors has plenty of gummy to sink your teeth into. Flavors include Paladin Pina Colada, Sour Lime Slime, Killer Kobold Cherry, Owlberry, Palm Eye Granite, and Death. I don't know what death tastes like, but I'm kind of curious.
Malort.
Malort.
All right.
They're fully funded. They're just looking at stretch goals now. The next one is at 100,000, which looks like it's a biblically accurate gummy, with all the wings and the eyes. And I kind of want a biblically accurate angel food cake gummy.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were literally saying they're like gummies in the Bible.
Oh no,
No angels. Okay, that makes more sense.
yeah. Um, they looks like they've done a gelatinous cube, a griffin, a succubus, and a few others on their stretch goal list. Um, and you can back it now. It's actually pretty reasonable. I think the first tier is $55, and they've still got 27 days to go. Check it out.
Oh, thank you very much for those delicious treats. I got to be careful because it's going to make my booty big, and then I have to deal with pirates. No.
That can't be the setup you gave me. Come on. But like any good pirate, I like big booty and I cannot lie. And this game is exactly what you're looking for, because the booty in this game is fantastic, because there's lots of extras that you can get: dice trays, GM screens, dice packs. But first I should probably tell you about the game. It's called Rapscallion. It is a powered by the apocalypse pirate themed game by Magpie, the creators of I can't even think right now. Urban Shadows 1 and 2, and the Avatar Legends RPG game. These folks know what they're doing when it comes to Powered by the Apocalypse games. Oh, hey, buddies. So sorry, I got distracted. Um, so in this game, you're playing a pirate with a crew. You pick your own playbook. There are a number of them to choose from: the captain, the swashbuckler, the chronicler, the montebuck, the navigator, the gunslinger. And you pick your ship, which also gets a playbook as well. And you're setting out on the seas in an alternate world where all the pirates' tales are true. It's got a real Pirates of the Caribbean, One Piece kind of feel to it. It's really easy to pick up and play, and it's been play tested for a while now, so you can be sure that they ironed out the kinks. Again, I can't stress enough that Magpie knows what they're doing when it comes to Powered by the Apocalypse. And I'm not just saying that because I've worked with them, but because I've seen what they do, and it's fantastic stuff. So, uh, right now, this particular backer kit is at $138,434 on a goal of 25,000. There are 2,166 backers, and most importantly, there's 27 days left for you to join the rest of them and set to the high seas. So get out there, ride your ship into legend, and you go get that booty.
Oh, thank you very much. I feel like that's worth a chip. What do you think, Javion?
That's right. Maybe a chip theory? Games? It's Roth, spelled with a W. This is a crowdfunding campaign for the area control Euro style dice roller. What? It's super fun. It's got asymmetric factions, meaning you're going to be playing as different factions with different abilities and missions and goals to accomplish and different ways of accomplishing them. It's an area control resource management game that uses dice. So if you're a fan of dice like I am and you want to use them as troops, you can also use the little tokens, but the dice are also troops. So it's kind of fun. It works together. It's kind of got this cool paint splash neon fantasy vibe where all the colors are really popping out against the black background, making it kind of dark and gritty, but also pretty sleek and stylish. Apparently, according to the creators of the game, it should only take about 10 to 15 minutes to learn and an hour to play. And if you're a avid board gamer like the rest of us, then you know an area control game usually takes a lot longer to learn, especially if you are jumping into something for the first time or learning something new. But this game is touted as a great intro into those kinds of more complicated, higher faluting board games. We also have we have also been told that it is a solo and co-op uh, versions of the game, as well as the warring factions that you'll be playing with as well. So there's plenty of replayability to it. Now, this game comes to us from a returning designer, Manny Tremblay, who you might remember from games like the Radlands and Dice Throne. More dice, right? Super fun stuff. I highly recommend any of those games Manny Tremblay's already worked on. The art style you can see translates over quite well. And try out Roth. Take a look at it. You got plenty of time left if you want to back it about only 7 days. Check it out on GameFound.
Ooh, thank you, folks. Well, round of applause for all of our crowdfunder courts. And guess what? That is our episode today. I had a fantastic time, but wait, don't go far, because in a couple hours we have Sarah's table playing Strange Hollows. And we're more than just a Friday show, folks. We have a whole a weekend of shows or week of shows. All of these times are in Pacific, by the way. So Monday, we have Peter versus the Machines at 9 a.m. Tuesdays, it's Vampires the Masquerade by Indie by Night at 7 p.m. Wednesdays, we have Miniature Painting with Path of the Brush at 4 p.m. Then Actoroki on Wednesdays as well at 6 p.m. Thursday morning at 11 a.m., we got Blood on the Clock Tower. And then join us again, of course, at 5 p.m. for more Shadow Runs with from Roll with Rem Alternus. And of course, brings us back to Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, with more of us from TableTakes. Special thanks goes to Gen Con TV crew, Marcus Mays in the background. Thank you, God, Marcus. Steve Connor, Sarah Moore, and Tanel Lovett. And also, thank you for having my delightful co-host today, Noir, Anita, and Javion, and also for you all watching. Don't forget to follow and see us and comment on YouTube, all that good stuff. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely day, and keep being awesome. Bye, friends!